good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, kung anong oras niyo man siya mapanood. So, I am Sir Jen, and welcome to our coaching session for our subject, Risk Management, with the subject code TOU 041. This presentation and coaching session will be useful para mapasa natin ang ating mga quiz, long quiz activities, and special year exam. We will cover all the topics and lessons for your first semester. So please guys, take it seriously. You can take down notes. And of course, you can take some screenshot sa aking presentation. So I hope guys, you're ready. And also, pwede nyo kunin ang mga modules nyo para sabayan nyo po ako sa mga sasabihin kong lessons or tuturo kong lesson para sa atin. Okay, for the contents of this presentation, of course, we'll tackling about your modules 2 to 8. So, ang module 1 natin is about orientation or an overview. So, for module 2, we have the risk management concept. Module 3, sources of risk. Module 4, risk and workplace. Module 6, risk analysis. Module 7, strategies to manage threats. Module 8 is about safety. I hope you guys ready. Okay. Let's talk about risk management or our subject. According to your module, risk management helps an organization to identify, evaluate, analyze, monitor, and mitigate the risks that threaten the achievement of the organization's strategic objectives in disciplined and systematic way. Okay, I know some of you, pag narinig natin ang risk, ang alam lahat, kapahamakan, or danger, mga ganun, di ba? Yun yung mga unang pumapasok sa atin. Okay, as a future hospitality and tourism industry worker, I know, sobrang importante ng subject natin ito kasi lahat tayo, mag-face tayo sa mga workplace, environment, na kung saan maraming risk, hazard. So, importante sa atin na matutunan yung mga bagay under the risk management. Okay, we also know that every firm faces risk, tama? It is critical to recognize or mahirap siya minsan to your company's risk and to identify the solution to mitigate them, di ba? And also, when we say risk management, it also has something to do with risk management plan. It is to assist you do this by defining how you deal with business hazard, by devoting time and resources to implementing a risk management strong strategy. Not just strategy, mas maganda, strong or effective and efficient siya. Of course, you have to create a safe workplace and lower the likelihood of negative consequences for the firm or for your workplace. We also know that to summarize the risk management meaning or definition, ang risk management is widely acknowledged as an essential component of good management and governance. Kumbaga, pag meron tayong strong operational structure, ibig sabihin po nun, it is an comprise of steps that when completed in succession allow for continuous improvement in decision making. Sabi nga nila, risk management is a logical and methodological approach of setting the context by identifying, analyzing, assessing, treating, monitoring, and communicating risk connected with any activity, function, or process. Okay. Of course, when we say risk, it refers to hazard, danger, peril, or when we say peril, sabi ko nga sa ating face-to-face, peril means serious or immediate danger. Kumbaga, once na, seryoso, at saka sobrang bilis ng mga pangyayari. It exposes us to loss, injury, destruction, or even death. Okay? So, hindi siya madaling sabihin or hindi lang siya pwedeng isang tabi o walang bahala natin. Okay, and according to risk, according to the United Nations World Tourism Organization, ito raw po ang mga sitwasyon na kung saan na-expose na po ang isang tao o isang bagay sa kapahamakan that they can harm them. And of course, the business, even though you are proprietorship or solo mo yung business, partnership, 2 or more, dalawa kayo o marami kayo sa isang negosyo or corporation na kung saan grupo kayo na merong single entity. Yung risk immediately attaches sa lahat ng kind of businesses, kahit anong area pa yan ng tourism hospitality industry. Okay, our knowledge of risk should be considered as a better opportunity for us to plan and mitigate its adverse effect in our undertaking. Okay, when we say risk management, dinefine din siya ng ISO 31000 or 3100. When we say ISO of 3000 or risk management process, ito po ay ang international, wala pala siya sa presentation, pero nasa module niyo po siya. If I'm not mistaken, ang ISO 31000 or the risk management process, isa po siyang international standard of 2018. Ito po ang mga guidelines na nagbibigay ng mga guidelines kung paano ba natin i-manage ang mga risk. Ang mga guidelines po na ito ay customized sa lahat ng sitwasyon na pwede nating i-apply sa lahat ng aktibidad sa paggawa ng desisyon. And of course, para ma-eliminate natin or medyo ma-lessen natin yung mga risks sa workplace natin. It can be used by anyone. Pwedeng ikaw, pwedeng mga managers, upper ups, individuals, group of people, families, teams, organization, and even governments. Okay? Ang purpose lang ng ISO 3000, alam nga natin na ito ay risk management framework na kung saan ito yung set of criteria for quality management system. It actually create and protect value by managing risk. Diba? After that, it has something to do with making decisions, the right decision, the good decision for the betterment of all parties. And it also, na meron siya kinalaman sa setting and achieving your objectives when it comes to safety protocols, safety procedures, etc. And of course, lastly, it improves the performance. Okay? Kumbaga makakatulong po ito sa ating lahat. Okay? Sa konteksto po ng risk management standard, when we say risk, of course, sabi ko nga, the effect of uncertainty on objectives. Okay? Risk can only be meaningfully defined in relation to objective because it actually relates sa mga nagiging effect and uncertainty na hindi magandang kaganapan on objectives that have potential consequence. Pwede siyang good or pwedeng bad. Okay? Nakakasabay po ba tayo? You can pause my video if ever naman medyo kailangan pa natin basahin yung module natin. Okay. Moving on, let's talk about the importance of risk management. Okay. Okay, sa slide po na ito yung mga sinabi ko kanina. To summarize lang. Okay, let's talk about the sources of risk. Okay. Pag-usapan natin ang mga sources of risk. So, ang alam natin, pag sinabi nating risk, sabi nga diba, parang it can bring harm, danger, peril to someone or to something. Pero actually guys, meron siya mga external source of risk and internal source of risk. For now, doon tayo sa general na sources of risk na nasa module po natin. Okay. So first, we have the uncertainty in financial market. Okay, when it comes to uncertainty in financial market, meron po itong kinalaman saan? Sa mga taxes natin. Kailangan daw, ang sources of risk, alam niya dapat or kabisado niya ang financial market. Kailangan siya ay vigilant enough to determine yung mga uncertainties that can give more impact to them. Like for example, if you're a business, one of the risks, kapag hindi kayo maalam or hindi kayo marunong when it comes to taxes, pwede siya maging risk kasi pwedeng ipasara yung mga establishment na meron kayo. Yung po yung sa train law na tinatawag po natin. Train law. What do we mean by train law or the tax reform for acceleration and inclusion law? Okay. Pag sinabi po nating train law, ito po yung ano siya? Ito yung mga amending for the purpose of, yung sa pagbabayad ng mga tax po natin. Marami yan actually. Parang siya, exemption siya sa mga sales and importation of mga products na meron po tayo. Again, pag sinabi natin train law, tax reform for acceleration and inclusion law. Moving on, let's talk about the threats for project failures. Okay. When we say project failures, di ba, parang it happens. It's often avoidable. And of course, ang gusto natin, di ba, 100% success rate tayo lagi. Or even ideal, we aim for the success or for the perfection. Pero kailangan, importante po na aware tayo sa mga common project na minsan nagpo-fall or hindi nagiging successful. Risk po yun. Bakit? Kasi maapektuhan po yung business or yung firm na meron po tayo. Most project managers actually have experienced a lot of failure, rejection. Diba? Ibig sabihin po nun, maraming mga reason bakit nagpe-fail. Yung mga yung mga project natin. A project could be considered a failure for some reasons. Of course, minsan, nagiging risk siya because the project didn't meet your objectives. Your project sometimes didn't get the deliverable result that you wanted. Or sometimes, work wasn't completed on time. Or hindi mo natapos ng maaga. So, it's actually risk. Kasi nga, diba, failure is very subjective. However, oftentimes, failure or failed projects still can achieve significant result. Sabi nga kanina, important na malaman natin yung risk management because it's actually a great opportunity for us to think something new or something better. Diba? And I know that failure never feels good, but it actually often comes in hand with setting challenging goals. Okay. Legal liabilities. When we say legal, parang demandahan na, no? Okay. Legal liabilities. Pag sabi legal liabilities, actually, it has something to do with action. Sometimes, ito yung mga negligence can result in substantial court judgment. Like for example, mga hindi nagawang mga task or mga contract, something like that. Pero doon tayo sa general lang. Sabi dito, legal liabilities in tourism hospitality industry, meron siyang dalawang way process. Of course, we have to ensure the safety of the guest, yung mga bisita natin, the blood of our business. And of course, our employee, di ba? Kasi pag hindi safe, ang mga employee mo, it's your liabilities, di ba? Ikaw ang sagot sa kanila. And of course, the protection of business operation. Kagaya nga ng sinabi ko sa ating face-to-face class, when we say legal liabilities, ito po yung like for example, risk, hindi lang siya sa harm, di ba? Hindi lang siya sa mga danger. May kinalaman po ito sa financial aspect of our business or our firm. Okay, let's talk about naman the credit risk. Okay, credit risk. To sum it up, pag sinabi natin siyang credit risk, ito po yung mga possibility of a loss resulting sa mga umuutang or borrowers failure or pag-fail nila sa pagbayad o to repay a loan or meet contractual obligation. Mahirap po ito kasi guys, parang kumbaga yung recovery rates, mahirap, nagiging risky po siya talaga sa sa firm na meron tayo. Siyempre nga, di ba, yung mga banko or financial services, nag-provide sila ng mga credit risk. It increases over time. Sa mga institution, compelled to sa paggawa ng provision to write off mga debt in the book of account. Ibig sabihin nun, pwedeng mapasara, bankruptcy, kumbaga nagkakaroon kayo ng probability of default, loss given default, and of course, yung mga exposure at default. Para yun nga, sabi ko, bankruptcy. Okay, moving on. The sources of risk. Of course, accident. Diba? Mga aksidente. Given yan. Na lahat ng mga workplace natin, lugar na meron tayo, maraming aksidente talaga. Hindi na siya maiiwasan. Ito ay mga reactive, di ba? Pag sabi natin proactive, nakita mo na, alam mo na darating. Pero ang accident, guys, hindi po. Aksidente. Kumbaga, as a person, as a management, or as a manager, kung ano man yan, ang situation sa accident, very reactive yan. Okay? Pero, preventive. Kumbaga, pag sabi reactive, di ba? One snap, nangyari agad. Andun siya. It happens. Preventive siya kasi ibig sabihin nun, people, your firm, your operations, they are ready. Okay? To emphasize, the management risk is preventive as it would like to admit the occurrence of accident. According yan sa automotivefleet.com, sa module nyo, nakalagay po yan. Natural causes or disaster, mga bagyo, di ba? Pagbaha, paglindol, mga thunderstorm, mga hindi natin maiiwasan. Okay? Sa mga natural cause disaster, actually ngayon, preventive na siya. Nape-prevent na natin siya kasi because of the innovations or the development that we have na kung saan proper planning is recommended. Like for example, alam mo na ang workplace mo, high risk siya when it comes to natural causes or disaster. Bahain. Of course, kailangan mong mag-come into something. May plano ka agad, di ba? Mga ganun siya. Deliberate attacks and adversary. Ito yung mga bomb threat, di ba? Mga ganon. Mga sinasabi natin na mga hostages. Pwede yun, di ba? Sabi nga sa terrorism daw, according to ALBO of 2016, has come one of the more and more active and threatening calamities that affects the international community. Di ba? Sino ba naman? Like for example, the 9/11. Di ba? Ano ba nangyari sa 9/11? Yung sa natin, yung attack, di ba? Yung isang aeroplano na hijack siya. Tapos, nabangga siya sa Twin Tower or World Trade Center ata. If I'm not mistaken, sorry. Di ba? Yun. Mga threats sa atin. Risk po yun. And of course, lastly, the events of uncertain or unpredictable root of cause. Ibig sabihin po nun, siya? Wala tayong measurement. Kumbaga, biglaan siya nangyayari. Okay? Whether the confidence in estimate and decision seems to increase. Okay, let's talk about the risk in workplace. Ano po yung mga yan? Of course, workplace hazard or risk in a workplace can be overlooked since the business minsan kadalasan hindi po sila aware. They have to identify workplace safely. The issues can help prevent the likelihood of workplace accident, or near misses. Meron tayong mga for safety, for physical, ergonomics, organization, and chemical. Ayan po yung mga yon. Kindly read that one, lalo na sa mga example po natin. When we say low risk workplace, ito yung mga less exposure. Kumbaga, minsan meron, minsan wala. Minsan hindi mo makikita. Okay? When we say average naman, moderate siya. Ito yung mga maraming expectations na gantong risk. So, ahead of time, makakapag-plan po tayo. Pag high risk naman, of course, like mga construction worker, kitchen, mga risky places. Sabi, kahit saan ka tumingin, kaliwat kanan, may risk. Simple as that. Okay. Next natin, let's talk about the risk analysis. Okay, risk analysis and management. Actually, ito po ay susi sa project management practices para mapanatili natin or ma-ensure natin na the least number of surprises occur while your project ay nangyayari or underway. Okay. Habang kaya natin ma-predict ang future ng mga kaganapan or mga hindi magandang kaganapan, pwede natin i-apply ang mga simple and streamlined risk management process para ma-predict natin yung mga uncertainties sa mga project and para ma-minimize or mapaunti natin yung mga occurrence or impact sa atin. Ibig sabihin nun, it actually can improve the chance of successful project completion and reduce the consequences of those risks. Okay? And of course, sabi dyan, risk can be hard to spot. Tama naman, di ba? Minsan kasi, Nakita natin na maayos, maganda, okay, safe na to, pwede na, yes, pasado na to. Pero hindi natin alam, yung risk pala, yung hazard sa place na yun, spotless siya. Okay, so as a manager, kailangan ano tayo, maging vigilant tayo sa mga ganong pangyayari. Okay, let's talk about risk analysis. Risk analysis is a process that helps you actually identify and manage potential problems that could determine the business initiative or projects. Okay, sorry. When we say risk management, ano siya? Importante po ito na approach para to ensure there are few surprises possible while your project in progress, sabi ko nga kanina. Of course, to avert crisis situation and of course to incorporate lesson na natutunan natin sa mga previous misstep natin. It actually emphasizes the effect and early risk analysis and management. It actually ensures the project objectives are met, resulting lower rework cost. Ibig sabihin, hindi mo na kailangan mag-redo. Mga ganun eksena natin. Okay, for our, what do you call this? The strategies to manage threat. Ayan, nasa module po natin yan. Kindly check that. So, strategies to manage threat. Ano po itong mga yan? Wait lang, sorry. Okay, the first step in risk analysis, of course, is to identify the existing and possible threats na ano po, na pwede natin kaharapin. Okay? Sorry guys, naglolo ko lang ang aking cellphone. Okay. The first step in risk analysis is to identify the existing and possible threats that you might face. This can come from many different sources. For instance, they could be first, of course, with the human. Syempre, of course, it can result illness, death, injury, or other loss of key individuals. The operation, of course, kapag wala tayong good operational structure, of course, there's high chance na merong risk and hazard sa pinagkatrabaho natin. Reputational, of course, loss of customer. Ibig sabihin, pag hindi mo alam mag-manage ng risk properly, it can cause complaints. Yung complaints na yun, maulit siya na maulit. And of course, magkakalos kayo ng customer. And of course, yung confidence ng employee to work and to give their best on their work that they do, it can actually damage sa mga market reputation nyo po. And procedural, of course, yung failures to accountability, internal system, or controls. Of course, andyan siya. Project, going over budget, taking too long on key tasks, or experiencing issue with product and service quality. Financial, business failures, stock market fluctuations, interest rate changes, and or non-availability funding. So guys, binibrief ako siya kasi meron tayong summarize po nito later sa other slides po natin. The technical, natural, political, and structure. Okay. Ito naman yung mga strategies natin na to manage threat. Developing a risk culture, identifying risk, performing risk assessment, responding to risk, monitoring risk, reporting risk, and integrating decision and conclusion. Ibig sabihin niya to summarize, identify insight, the visibility, the risk detection, investigation tools, and effective response. Katuloy niyan ang ating SWOT. Okay, dito tayo mag-focus. Kaya hindi ko na binanggit yung iba kanina kasi magpo-fall siya dito. Kumbaga, eto na lahat. Eto kailangan din natin. Ang SWOT analysis, magagamit mo siya to evaluate an entire firm or organization. Of course, as well as specific project sa isang departamento. Ang SWOT assessment, typically, ginagamit po ito sa mga organizational level to determine how closely, di ba? Kung gaano kalapit a corporation is aligned with the growth of trajectories and success benchmark. Pero, maaari din po itong gamitin para ma-determine natin kung gaano ba kabuti or ka-effective ang specific project na ginagawa natin. Ang SWOT analysis, tandaan nyo, guys, tandaan natin na ang SWOT analysis po, assist us in determining the optimal fit between environmental trends. Of course, ito yung mga opportunities, sabi ko nga kanina, yung mga nilagpasan natin. Yung mga opportunities and threats, and of course, the internal capabilities. Okay, let's talk about a strength or the S in SWOT. Ang strength, kalakasan. Ibig sabihin nyo, ito yung hiyas ng kayamanan, kung sabihin natin. Ang strength is a resource or capability or capacity that organization or yung firm na meron kayo that may effectively use to achieve the goal. Ito yung armas nyo para sa tagumpay, di ba? Ang W naman is weakness. Ito yung mga constraint natin, mga flaws, kamalian, mga kahinaan, or defect, kung sabihin natin, di ba? In an organization that prevents it from fulfilling the goals. Kumbaga, ito yung mga kalaban natin, di ba? Mga kailangan yung ligwakin. Of course, any favorable condition in organization surrounding is considered an opportunity. And it is usually a trend or a shift. Okay? Of course, for the opportunities, ito yung mga pwede mong gamitin. Mga makikita mo, may plano ka, may opportunity ka to grow, to eliminate yung mga risks na meron ka. Okay? And of course, that threat, ito yung mga kailangan natin paghandaan. Kagaya ng sinabi ko kanina, of some kind of unnoticed need, nabuboost ang demand for the product or service na mag-aalaw sa mga firm to improve its position by delivering it. Okay? Ang threat, tandaan po natin, ito po yung kahit anong unfavorable condition sa isang organization environment na may kinalaman sa potential na mag-harm sa strategy na meron kayo. Ang threat, pwede siya maging physical barrier, pwede rin siya maging constraint, or anything else that could create problems, harm, or injury. In summarize with the SWOT, when we say in general, an effective strategy capitalize on opportunities by leveraging the organization's strength and defense against danger by avoiding them or correcting or compensating them sa mga shortcoming po natin. So, ibig sabihin, kailangan mayroon kayong SWOT analysis. Pwede sa pag-aaral nyo, sa negosyo nyo, sa mga plano nyo sa buhay. Importante po yan. Okay. Scenario analysis process, importante po ito. Okay, ito yung mga defining the problem, gathering data, separates certainties from uncertainties, develop a scenario, use a scenario in your planning. When we say scenario analysis, ito po ay strategy sa pag-a-analyze ng mga future and logical and organized matters. Business can use scenario analysis para ma-investigate or malaman natin yung mga various potential and consequences na kung saan ang favorable and minsan good occurrence. Okay, kagaya lang ng ano nga ba yung mga potential na consequences ng economic slowdown sa mga negosyo? Ano ba yung mga pwedeng mangyari kapag ang mga presyo ng mga raw materials natin tumaas? Or anong klase ng pagkita or profit or income na meron ng isang new product na i-release mo na kaya na i-generate. Okay? Ibig sabihin nun, instead, scenario analysis, it investigates the range of conceivable, tama ba? Tama? Conceivable condition and consequences, often spanning from best case to worst case scenario. Businesses can then use scenario planning to better prepare for the future. Okay, safety. Safety is prevention of the lives, property, and environment by taking preventive reserves to prevent accidents, pollution, destruction through accident prevention program. When I say safety, safety is state of being safe, the freedom for danger, risk, or injury. Hindi si jowa ang safety, di ba? Safety is absence of danger. Okay, to summarize, okay, ang safety, workplace safety program, ginawa po ito around the hazard to identify in your workplace and the safety measures na meron kayong ini-implement para ma-manage yung mga hazard na meron tayo. Programs for health and safety workers are protected. Hazards are being reduced. And a healthy and safe workplace ay na-maintain nating lahat through health and safety measurement na meron tayo. It can be rules, regulations, it can be memos, etc. Lahat tandaan po natin na all employers are required to implement some type of workplace health and safety programs. The sort of program you require is determined by the amount of employees you have and the hazard involved in your workplace. Ayun yun, yung binanggit ko kanina. Okay. So guys, kindly review. To summarize tayo, review lang tayo ng onte. To review, safety, risk, and hazard, importante po yan sa lahat. Okay? Of course, importante po ito because it empowers a business with the necessary tools so that it can be adequately identify and deal with potential risk. Ibig sabihin nun, once a risk has been identified, it is easy to mitigate it. Diba? And of course, sabi nga nila, ang risk daw can cause harm, danger, injury, or even death. So marami tayo sa workplace natin na iba't ibang klase ng risk. Like we have the low, the average, and the high risk workplace. And of course, by that, kailangan meron tayong mga risk analysis, assessment. Meron din tayong mga safety programs for us para ma-maintain natin yung good business na meron tayo. Of course, pag sinabi natin na risk analysis risk analysis, quantitative siya. May kinalaman siya sa problem solving na meron. Okay? So guys, that's our quick session for today. Please answer and upload your modules, module 1 to 8 sa ating GCR. Long quiz will be next week. And then, exam week, and may date tayo. So good luck everyone. I hope you'll learn something today. So thank you so much for listening. I hope natuto kayo for our coaching for today. If you have question, you can ask me sa ating face-to-face session by next week before you take your quiz. That's all guys. Thank you so much. Thank you.